morning and welcome to Embrace Your Inner Wellness with Gigi. I thought I'd do this video because it's fresh in my head, and it's basically about self-esteem, self-worth, because I feel self-esteem is our self-worth. And I've noticed recently that I am not very low in my self-esteem, because I have confidence, I go out, but then I'm not really being my worth and I'm not really being my self-esteem. And I don't know why, because I was that long ago, but I just think when we have too much trauma, we do kind of put ourselves in a hole, in like, we put something over us and we just really dim our light and dim who we are. And my intimate lover that I'm with now, and we've been together on and off for a year because of this problem, because of self-esteem. And he is the beautiful person, but he has this issue as well. So we've both got a lot of attraction with just the self-esteem thing. That's the only thing that plays a part and affects our relationship. And it's made me see, actually, self-esteem affects loads of people's relationships. And it's like, if you had your self-worth and self-esteem, would you really be in that relationship? I see it as, if my partner had his self-esteem, he would do a lot more things with me, and he wouldn't be scared of us going out and doing things. It has things about people. People have treated me and him like crap. Not while we've been separate, obviously, through our lives. And he has trauma. I have trauma, but I've dealt with mine. Still dealing with it. But I know that I'm on a process where I'm not in trauma anymore. And I'm not going back into it either. And that's going to be another video, because you've got to handle the stresses of life with all the spiritual practices you have learned. You have to do them in the present moment, because if you don't do them in the present moment, you're just going to go straight back into trauma and live in that way again. And it's like, no, we've been taught these things on purpose so we don't go back into it. And like, obviously my partner is younger than me. He's still learning life, but we both are learning about relationships with each other. And I am so glad that I got to meet him while I'm in the process of knowing of psychology and being more healthy with myself in this relationship, because I've had lots of triggers in the past. And like, before we split up last year, I was still going through it, and he could tell that I was still going through some things. But I was a bit insecure, but then he started getting insecure as well. And instead of us talking about stuff how we talk now, because we do talk to each other in a different way of communicating, and this is how we should actually communicate in a relationship. I'm finding that me and my partner do talk deeply about our past, or have about our past. And sometimes when things come up, he's able to express with me how he feels at work, how he feels when his parents are being shit with him. Because yeah, that's his problem, and that's why he has trauma. And that's like Do you know what I mean? And we don't look at a scale of when we're getting into a relationship with someone, we don't actually have this spiritual connection. I've kind of waited for mine, and I know that me and him have a spiritual connection. He doesn't know because he's not on that, well, I think he's on that path, but his human side isn't on that path yet. His human side can't see it. Spirit can see it, but his human side can't see it because he's not connected yet. When he does, I know he'll start to see different things and feel things, and he'll be where I am. My human form can feel things, and my human gets scared of it. But it's like, if we actually, and this is why I'm so glad I've met this person, because he's a lot like me. We're both like each other, to say we have quite a big age gap. We are very much alike. But also, it's nice that I've met him because I get to talk to him freely about my stuff, and he just takes me with a pinch of salt. He's not scared about my spirituality or what I talk about. He was with me in the 6 months of darkness that I had last year, and I asked for him to come in because I wanted to, my human self wanted that protection, and he used to protect me, and his soul did as well, which this is for another video as well about soul work, and people get mixed up with soul work and your spiritual practices. Your soul is on earth, yes, but your human doesn't need to do soul work. Your soul will just do it anyway, whether you're spiritually aligned or not. Your soul will go off on this planet, do what it needs to do, and then come back into your body. And your body doesn't need to do anything. Because my soul's done soul work on this planet and showed me what she's been up to, and how I've just stayed at home cleaning and not doing anything. And I'm like, okay. So sometimes we are getting this wrong as well. Like, and some people don't know what it is that I know. And sometimes I find it odd because I can't share everything. Although I'd like to, because it'd fix some people so much in what I know. But then it's, who's going to find out what will happen to me if they find out what it is that I know or what it is I've done or do. Because it is sometimes about keeping your spiritual practices a secret, because you do have against of people. And I know sometimes how a relationship was against force of the dark side, as people say. Some people didn't like it because we were empowered. Like, there was an energy, that energy isn't there anymore because we're both kind of in our self-esteem at the moment, and we're both trying to fix it. And I think once we both fix our self-esteem, we'll either be more empowered and our energy will come back to what it was last year, or we split up. I don't think we will split up though. I think we'd stay very good friends, but yeah, I'd find it really hard trying to be with somebody else though, because of the experience that I've had this time round in this relationship, and knowing what I know it is, and other people try and say it's not, or other people just try and endear my relationship, and they don't really know what it is that I know about it. And it's like, that doesn't help. Like, we do not help other people's relationships by calling the relationship. And you're manifesting things on that relationship as well, which is not okay, and it's not nice. And like, you have to think before you speak out loud about your relationship, because I know I manifested some things in it because I was still being a little bit of a trauma last year, where I'm not now. And my partner has noticed that I've changed loads from last year when we first met. He's like, you've changed so much. But he's seen it as I've got stronger with myself, and he's proud of me. Like, he's the only guy that's ever said that they're proud of me in what I do. And I think every woman wants to hear that, really. It's like men and women sometimes have grown up so narcissistic that they don't even know what love is, or they've not even seen love before. And I've shown so much love to my partner that he finds it uncomfortable, that he's not scared of it and he's not in fear of it, but he just finds it so uncomfortable. That is really hard for a man, because he is a man, and he's like, and I call him my masculine divine, and that is a masculine divine, because nobody really knows on this planet what a masculine divine is. Everyone thinks that the masculine becomes the feminine, and I'm like, well, no, not really. You're actually just being your masculine divine. You know, masculine divine is not egotistic, it's not narcissistic. That is just completely, you've lost the masculine divine by covering it up with the wrong words. Like, the masculine divine is in great power, he's a leader, he's very powerful. He's also in the yellow light, he's happiness. He's joyful, he's fire, he's in his phoenix power, he's kind, he's caring, he isn't narcissistic, he's a beautiful being. And I do actually see my partner's face when I say it in my head, and it's nice. I'm so glad that he came into my life and that it was divinely guided, and I thank my guides for guiding him in when he was needed. But we find it very hard to be separated. We do. We've tried the separation thing and it don't work, but also he's decided that I think he does need to do some healing within self-worth. And I did have a card reading of a good lady, and she said it's not your confidence that's the problem, because you wouldn't be doing this, and this is the mistake that we make, is that your self-esteem is actually different from being confident. Your self-esteem is different. It's your self-worth, and the self-esteem is what I'm working, and my partner is working on now. And it isn't about me healing him. It's about us healing together as a couple. And we don't argue. We don't fight. We have never had a fight. We've never argued. We've even done the little finger pixie promise of never arguing with each other. It's annoyed me at one time, but that's because I was still holding on the old society belief of what a relationship should look like. And we both have cut away from what that is, and of what a relationship is. We're not actually in a relationship, though. I've been with him over a year now. And we're both gutted. Like, we're both gutted that it didn't work. Both of us. Because he said it in front of my face. Because he actually did come and make the effort to come and see me on our year of us meeting. which I thought was nice. And we had a chat about it. And I come to realise after having that reading, actually, it was his self-esteem of why he finished with me and why he separates himself from me. And then when I look at it, it's mine as well. But then I know if I was in my self-worth, I wouldn't be with my partner because he finds it hard being around people where I like to have adventures and go off. He doesn't want to. That's the only thing that I didn't like about our relationship, and the only reason why he did it last time when we were first together is because he was doing it for me, because he was wanting to people please me, and he likes the stuff that I do, and we've had some good times together, but he's found it uncomfortable underneath because of his self-worth and self-esteem. And I don't think we look at relationships close enough to even think. And some people shouldn't be together. Like when they are being narcissistic and they're emotionally abusing you and calling you and undermining you, that's not a relationship. That is just a dickhead. And you should finish with them. I finished with that from my past. And like, I've had to heal that trauma that that person gave me, because he gave me trauma, or they gave me trauma. That's not okay. But to have the relationship that I've had and in now, it's different. He likes my spirituality. He's like that he's learning stuff from me. He likes my body. He likes everything about me, my laugh, and he would say stuff to me in front of my face, not through fucking text messaging, but my face. And he's like, and it's dead nice. And my body can hear it. My body needs to take it on though, what he says to me. Because I realised with his self-esteem, he keeps himself to himself, locks himself away. Though he goes to the gym, and that's one of the hobbies that he enjoys. But he does get mistreated while he's there sometimes, which pisses me off. He's just a genuine, nice person, but obviously he attracts the crap because he's not learned yet about law of attraction, which I need to teach him about it, because he does it to himself. So when we're narcissistic to ourselves, we pull narcissistic people. That is what I want to tell you. When you're narcissistic to yourself, you pull narcissistic people, right? You might not be narcissistic. I wasn't really ever narcissistic to others. Somewhere I had this controlling aspect because I had codependency and I didn't want to be on my own. And that's what was wrong with me last year and all. I was getting rid of that. And then when I finally got rid of the codependency and I was fine, that's when she finished it. Because he was like, yeah. Because he was understanding that we had a misunderstanding, basically, of I wasn't seeing him that much. I wanted to see him more, but he couldn't see me the amount I would have liked to have seen him, basically. I got too excited. I was impatient. And see what I mean? When you're impatient on a relationship, you've got to remember they lived a life before they even met you. And maybe they can't change their life before meeting you. And it is about getting rid of expectations of what a relationship should look like, what we've been taught about relationships and what they should be. Because I am actually, even though I say that we're not together properly, because we're not really, we're just being with each other, and that's it. We're just being with each other. So really, we are kind of in a relationship, but he doesn't like calling it that at the moment because he's seen that he wants to do other stuff when he's older. and I might not be able to do that for him in what he wants. But then I think when he gets into his self-worth more, he might change his mind about that. Because I've been where he's been and the way he's thinking, and I don't think like that anymore. So yeah, so I just wanted to come on and do this quick video. Well, it's not quick, but I wanted, maybe this would help someone about relationships as well, about understanding a relationship better, and on a soul level, like a connection, soul connection. It's different. It's more authentic. It's more flowy. Yes, you're still gonna get obstacles in the way, but they're not bad ones. It's just work, family, and you know, and it's about working with each other, being with each other, and not giving a fuck about the obstacles because they can't stop you, and being genuine with each other. Like when feelings come up that you need to talk about, talk to them about it. Don't swan away and hide it, and then they get paranoid and stuff and start thinking the wrong things, because we all think the wrong things in relationships. We all do it. I thought the wrong things about Jay because my old past sometimes kept coming, because I've been cheated on before and so has he. But then he's learnt himself to tell me everything and what he's doing, because his last partner was like that. So he's basically... But then people have told me things before in the past of what they're up to, and actually lied to me, and I find out actually they're not even doing those things. They're just telling me those things because they're with somebody else, another woman, and then I've had to look at, is he doing the stuff, is he saying this stuff to me because he's with somebody else? My body and my soul are like, no, he is actually telling you the truth. My mind, though, on the other hand, so I've had a bit of a crazy 6 months last year of, well, 3 months of like this intense, and it was intense, it was fast, and I wish it went slower, and we both regret not being with each other. We both regret it, because it would have been a really good, and it is good relationship that I have with him. It is still good, so I don't know why we're not together, but he's decided that he loves me, but he's took himself out that space of being in love with me because of his self-worth and his self-esteem, and shut it off and knocked himself back, which I have done exactly the same thing. Because I still love him, and I know very quickly I still think I'm in love with him, to be honest, because sometimes I feel it in my gut and I still say it out loud and express it, and he don't anymore. He does tell me he loves me when he leaves, but I know that it's true to me how I feel about him, and it's not codependency love, and it's not just because I'm saying it, because I'm just saying it. It's like you have these little thing inside your gut of flutters, and it just comes out naturally at unexpected times when you don't know that you're going to say it. It's like somebody else is saying it inside me. It's like my soul's saying it to him. Just love you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but to have that shut off because of self-esteem, it's not nice. There is something that I did say to my partner, and he has been doing it which is really nice. He finds it a bit awkward and uncomfortable, but he's still doing it. So basically, I said to him, and I should do this on myself. I don't know where it came from, but it was an idea that just popped into my head. That he told me that a guy at the gym told him how good his arms were, and basically about him being good looking. And he is good looking. If you know me and seen his photo on my profile, yeah, he's good looking. I think he's good looking anyway. But he's never had other people say nice stuff to him, I don't think. And it's like, and he said he was dead happy about it, that a bloke actually said that to him. And that, but then when he went into the changing room, he actually shut himself off and shut himself down, and his head starts saying to him, but he still felt, instead of taking it on what the bloke said, he kind of shut himself off, putting himself in his little cloak thing that he's got going on of protection, and went back into his loathing self instead of being positive about it, that someone said that to him. So I sent him a message and said, and someone says a good compliment like that to you, let your body hear it, let your body feel it, hear it, feel it, and transmute all those negative other words into that positive one of what that someone said to you. And I noticed when he came round mine and I said something nice to him, he did it, and I could tell by his face he was doing it. And then this massive, his heart changed, his heart chakra just went boom. And this explosion of energy just came out of his heart, and I was like, wow, that's powerful. What the fuck? Like, he would actually be the most powerful healer on this planet if he was actually in with himself. I was like, whoa. And yeah, so I've kind of understood why sometimes he's the way he is with me now. And we've had a talk about it on our year when he came to see me, that he realises that he does need to work on his self-esteem, and I'm going to work on mine and he's going to work on his. But I am going to do it with him together, because he hasn't learnt the modalities that I have learnt with my journey. He's just learning them now because I'm helping him with them. And I'm not fixing him, I'm not healing him, but if I have these modalities, I'm going to bloody share it with him, so it'll help him in his life path. Whether we stay together, we'll always be together spiritually no matter what happens, because I know who he is to me. You don't need to know who he is. Like, you don't need to know who he is to me, just I need to know. And I'm allowed to keep that as a secret. I don't need to say anything about who we are together. And it's my business, not your business. It's just I wanted to share properly about self-esteem in relationships and our overthinking. And when we overthink and stuff with our trauma and what we've been through, yeah, relationships don't work. But if you can find a partner that's more understanding, that's open-minded to things, that's loving, caring, genuine, there are out there. Just manifest it. But talk. I mean, we did talk last year, but we thought we was really good communicators, and actually we weren't. But now we communicate differently. We communicate a lot better with each other, and we do wait most of the time now face to face. We don't really do it on the phone anymore. I'll say some stuff, but we do generally wait face to face. I mean, he's distant with his phone anyway because he still lives in the 90s, which I like about that. I'd like to go back to myself and live like that, because living in this chaos of technology is not healthy for my human body or my soul or my energy body. Actually, it affects my energy so much and drains me. And so yeah, and I'm going to go off and live my life. So yeah, I'm going to go off and live my life and let my partner go and live his, and then we're just going to come together when we want to and when the universe lets us. Because he gets really busy with work, and I have to understand that. Obviously, I do my own work, he works for someone, so we can't always be together. Though I'd like to see him more. But anyway, so yes, does self-esteem play a role and affect our relationships? Yes. Does it affect our lifestyle? Yes. Does it affect the people that we choose in our lives? Yes. Does it affect our health? Yes, it does. It does affect our health and well-being. Self-esteem and self-worth come a long play in this, but it's up to us, our responsibility, to go off and find what will help to get our self-esteem back to the way it should be, and don't listen to others and the government and society beliefs, because they're the ones that affect us, by the way, to keep pinging us down. Schools and all sorts. If I had children, though, they wouldn't go to school. They'd be at home with me every single day. But anyway, that's the life I would like to live anyway. But I might not have children because I've kind of made my choice, and that's for another video. Well, not even a video, that's just my life choices and what I want to make. Because I'm allowed to. Like, people have got to be aware that the word mandatory is a word, it's fake, it's made up, it's not by law, and it's not real. It's just a word because it's fear-monging. A fear-monging word. Anyway, I don't know why I've said that, but I think something's channeling through me at the minute because my energy's changed. So yeah, self-worth and self-esteem definitely affects us. It affects how we eat, especially the way we eat, and food, and emotional eat, and drink. Like emotional drinking, a lot of people do that and don't realise that they're doing it, and it affects their well-being and their mind state. That's when you should quit and don't even think about drinking ever again. But I've gone off the path a little bit with this conversation, with this video. But as you can tell, self-esteem does play a lot in our lifestyles and the way we live. And yeah, that's it really. So yeah, I'm going to go off now and live my life that I want to live to today. And hopefully I get to see my partner very, very soon. Because I do miss him, and I know he misses me, which is nice. So yeah, so I would go and heal your self-worth and self-esteem. That is a really good one, a good thing to focus on and work with. How can I make myself happy? How can I fulfill my own life and what I want in it with myself? how would I heal my self-esteem? I guess for me it's about looking in the mirror, because I do like my body now, even though I know that I've dramatically changed and I've lost a lot of weight with being my health. And I didn't used to love myself. I know that I have a beautiful body and I've been given beauty in this lifetime, but I haven't used it as beauty. I had so many negative words thrown at me from my parents, at school, work, people being jealous, just strangers in a nightclub. And like, women are so like fucked in the head because they need to see their own beauty instead of somebody else's beauty. I think that's where the most self-esteem and self-love comes from, is because you're not seeing your own self for who you really are, and that's what you should be doing. It's going off and looking at yourself. Instead, I've had all these words planted on me and I've had to delete them, get rid of the memory of them. And that's a part of my trauma. And then I've had someone that's in their self-love attract themselves to me. And it's like, do you know what I mean? And that's what law of attraction is. So it's like, yeah. So for me to heal my self-esteem, I guess, would keep redoing and looking at myself in a mirror, because I do love my body now. I know it's changed, and I have to love who I am now. Don't keep looking at the past and thinking, well, yeah, I look good then, I was modelling then, but keep just loving myself who I am now. And you never know, self-love may even heal my body. I know it has in some form, and my energy body has helped, and it is looking deep within and finding how to help self. So the mirror thing, there's a part of shaking therapy that people don't know because I haven't come out with it yet. That's for next year, definitely. I feel like I keep getting stopped with that for some reason, but I think it's because I'm still working on myself, why I keep being stopped of bringing it out. And there's one where I can hold myself to help my self-esteem, just hugging myself, massaging my own body, and grounding into my body, because I've learned how to do that, and doing a grounding breath work, which is something that I've learned to do as well, which is coming out next year. So I have a few things that I can do to help with self-esteem, and I do need to align and to connect to myself again, and to do these practices every day, which won't take long either. And obviously to choose what makes me happy, do hobbies that make me happy. Hopefully this will help somebody else as well into looking at what is it that you can do. Obviously I do readings. My psychic oracle readings are all based on you and your self-worth, and where it is that what you can do to help yourself on your journey, so you're not stuck anymore, so you don't feel depressed anymore, so you feel lighter in yourself, getting rid of heaviness. So if anybody did want a reading with me, then please comment on this video, and I'll share my Facebook page so you can find me. But yeah, so I guess self-esteem does affect quite a lot of things in our lives. And also our doctors do this as well. Our doctors and nurses put us down, like, because of their self-esteem and their self-worth, but they actually see our self-worth and whether we are happy or not. And I think we get law of attraction with that as well, with the way they affect us and the job. It's so important, but yet they still can deem us into having a healthy body. One, they don't get taught right anyway. Two, they do put us down as well, like they do. Organisations do put us down as well with our self-worth and self-esteem. And it does play effect in our friendships, our relationships, and the people we choose to actually go out with. Like, I've been out with some not good people because of my own self-esteem and because of people, the way they've treated me. So I get a better understanding with my partner now, who I am with now, because I see where he is, and I am so glad I am this way now and this person now, that I get to help my partner instead of picking on him, undermining him even more, controlling him even more, because that's what he's used to. And because I'm different and I'm led differently now. I was like this, I guess, before, but I never got to sit with someone and be like this with someone. It's always been chaos. It's always been arguments, fighting, narcissistic. And now I get to see a bit of a healthier side where I don't want to change him, but I do want him to be happy with himself. And I do want him to have a good self-esteem. Not for me. I want it for himself because he deserves to have a better life. He deserves to be happy and he deserves to be loved with what he does for others. He deserves to be loved as well and to be in his original masculine divine. Because I'm the feminine and he's the masculine. And that's how you unite as one with your masculine and feminine energy. And yeah, and it's really nice. Like, I'm not two halves of myself, I'm one. And he's not two halves to himself either, he's one. He's in oneself, I'm my one self. And just to see the basics of a relationship to fail because of self-esteem and self-worth, that is really hard. But then, in a way, it just makes you show how much I have grown as a person, as a human being, because this isn't all about being spiritual, it's about how do you heal your human form. How do you heal that human perspective of you? That is your key point of how this planet changes. Is the way you change your personality and who you are on this planet. Not anything different. How do you become your authentic self? Your higher self teaches you, your soul teaches you how to be your authentic self. But if your human is not happy and your human self is sad and miserable and hates stuff and negative, then that's when you look at your human form and that's when you say, right, my human's doing stupid shit. What's doing? What are you being like that for? So that's what needs to change, is how you react to stuff. You can be the best soul on this planet, but if your human's a shitter, your human's a shitter. And that's the human that you've got to change. And I am so proud of my masculine divine and how he is within himself, because he makes himself positive. He, even though he says he dislikes people, he does still care, and it is in him to go on that drive and help others, even though they still treat him like shit, he will still go and do it. And yeah, and I am proud of him for not really taking on smoking, drugs, or drinking alcohol, or going out clubbing, and like, he's done it, but it doesn't resonate with his human self. So his human self is quite pure, actually. His human self is really pure, and I think that's his soul knowing of who he is and what his soul represents him to be in his human form. And that's why some people don't get it. Some people don't really need to go and take up on this spiritual journey, because actually, if you're good with themselves and stuff like that, you're already being spiritual. You've just not got that label, and you don't really need that label either. It's just a label, and he's just being himself, one with himself, and he's being authentic, and he's being genuine. And I've become that. Like, I've become what he is. It's like, even though he's not done all this involvement work, what I've done, I've still had to match up to who he is spiritually and who he is as a person. Like, I've had to match him up. It's really weird. So yeah. So on that note, I'm leaving it as that. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment what you think, and have a great day. Bye.